tension between Boko Haram and Hezbollah.
If you're talking about time, because we do remember in November 2010, when Nigeria was said to have intercepted some arms that they said was en route, Gambia took some decisive steps. In fact, categorically, it was said that they severed ties with Iran and ordered all of them who are within the country to leave within 48 hours. And so maybe not doing exactly the same thing, but there are those who have suggested that we're for dragging about the entire scenario, and we haven't demonstrated seriousness at the time when it happened, if we compare our reaction to that of Gambia.
Well, you see, in international diplomacy, you don't just rush into issues like that. But I was pleasantly surprised on the action taken by government or security forces to have sealed the premises of the terrorist suspects. I think a diplomatic channel should be open between Nigeria and Lebanon, alongside with Iran, because Iran has been indicted 2 or 3 times now on this very terrorist act. And I think Nigeria, just like you rightly said, should take decisive action on our relationship between Nigeria and Iran.
But if you look at the entire scenario, you have those who think that, first of all, we do know how Nigerians are treated in other countries if they were found in any such scenario, not even ones as serious as this one. And some categorically say our laws are weak, and that people know this, and that's why they take advantage of all of this. Do you share the same thoughts?
Yeah, I don't share the same thoughts. You recall that some time ago, Nigerians were deported from South Africa over this yellow vaccination papers. And Nigeria immediately retaliated. But I think our foreign policy makers should be in a better position to see that whatever action is made to Nigeria should be reciprocated by Nigeria. But in this case, it's completely different. You need to do proper investigation, which has been concluded, and Lebanese who are involved in this matter, the home country should be made also to know what they have done, and the other diplomatic and action should be taken.
Well, I know it's really quite difficult when we talk about issues relating to diplomacy, relations with other countries. But for so many Nigerians, it will be very hard to actually take this off their hearts, just the way it's been when it comes to some Nigerians involved in some other bad deeds, like in the UK and other parts of the world. So as it is now, with this find and with the seal-off of the business premises of this particular Lebanese, what should we be thinking of doing in the next couple of days as someone who is in the security profession? Can we as citizens start talking with those in the service or the police by way of giving some kind of information? Because if you go through what a whole lot of people have been saying, perhaps it looks like they may have a thing or two to pass out to these people. But, there's still this, should I say, skepticism as to what they can do with such information given to them.
Well, that's where I started from. Our media, we need to do a lot, in underreporting some of the negative aspects in our country. The media, I'm sorry to say, you see, at times escalate issues. There must be a channel between the security agencies and the media, so that they should draw a line on where to report and where not to report to, or where not to report certain issues that compromise our security. So you can see, I personally suggest that the media be embedded in some of these operations, like what is going on in the Northeast, the emergency rule and the offensive by the military. Only and the federal government has reacted. When Al Jazeera reported some made uncomplimentary remarks about Nigeria, about the operation, without cross-checking. So we need to cross-check some of our information. The media and the security need to collaborate to ensure that we make a huge success out of this very big challenge.
But again, who do you blame? Sometimes I think you just realize that Nigerian officials, government officials, they're very quick to grant interviews to the foreign media in comparison to what happens here in the country. So when you open your mouth and you speak first before to the international media, and when you're invited locally, you turn down such invitation, who do you blame when such information or such reports finally come out?
Well, it's a lack of understanding and enlightenment. Each time channels or any other station invites me to comment on certain national issues, which is in my purview or I'm aware of, I should make comments. And those of them who granting interviews to foreign media should also be conscious of what they say, especially in terms of security as it affects Nigerians. We should not be washing our dirty linens in the public. So it's important we educate our people. We need to have some attitudinal change. Coming to the issue of where Nigerians are treated shabbily abroad, it's because of the way we conduct ourselves. We need to change our attitude. And the present government, I also believe, is out there to protect the interests of Nigerians wherever they are.
Yeah, but Mr. Jaffa, you know that countries exist to protect the interests of their citizens. So even when some of these Nigerians abroad have not done anything to warrant any of such ill treatment, because of the perception that some of these countries have, they go ahead and do such things, and the country barely speaks up. The embassies don't respond, and you have that despondency that trickles down to the populace. And so these things keep going around in cycles. But you have some of those who are committing some of those crimes here in the country, and some categorically say they are being treated with kid gloves.
Yeah, that's why our foreign ministry comes in. If Nigerians who go out don't even report their movement or the problems they have to the foreign ministry, how will they take action? So it's important that we also report our activities. But you see, the tendency is that most of these people who are arrested are treated shabbily. Give rooms for them to be treated the way they are treated because of criminal tendencies. We must not shy away from it that some of our people give us very bad image. So we need to change our attitude. That's the point I'm making.
But in terms of the way some of these things are going, are we underestimating some things here? Because now that there was a categorical statement from the DSS that this is a terrorist cell, the Iranian connection, the Hezbollah connection, I mean, you know how this country is. For them to have got to that stage to make that statement, a lot would have happened before now.
Well, I think the State Security Service should be allowed to conclude its investigation, and the normal thing to do at the end of the investigation is to get the people charged to court. But the Foreign Ministry also has the option to, but I think it's premature for now to say we declare some of them persona non grata and just send them away. Because you don't know how many cells are still in this country. As the investigation goes on, they're unfolded, and people, some other people, like I said, we are talking of Lebanese now. What of their Nigerian connections? We need to establish all those. So we don't need to be in a hurry to take certain actions.
Okay, Mr. Jeff, I was going to ask you said something earlier about the cells, the terrorist cells that are in the country. You said it's not just the Iranian cells or the Lebanese cells. Can you mention some other cells that they are?
Well, I'm no more in the service. For all I've read from the newspapers, I think you've seen the Hezbollah connection. The Iranian cell terrorist group has been established, and some convictions have been made. So that's the much I know. But I think the State Security Service and all the security agencies, the immigration should be able to screen